If we can do just a few things right during volatile markets, we'll be able to, one, keep our current clients happy, meaning that they've got confidence in this plan that you created, which really leads to more peace of mind for them. And then two, we'll be able to grow our firm more quickly during these down periods. So I want to really go over the playbook that we use at Streamline during these down markets to make sure both of these things are happening. But first, if I haven't met you yet, I'm Dave Zoller, and I own Streamline Financial in the west suburbs of Chicago, and Tim and I run that company. And we created this channel to really share some of the things that's been working as we grow our firm so that hopefully it can help you too. So during market volatility, the first thing we have to do is just focus and make sure that our current clients are taken care of, right? A big part of making sure that they're confident with their plan is through communication. So we're able to do this through really three things. One is proactive communication related to strategies that actually take advantage of market downturns. Two, it's recording just really one video message that's sent to all clients. And if it's an extended period of time, it might be a few video messages, and I'll talk more about that coming up. And then three, it's just that ability to practice empathy with clients who need that one-on-one conversation during what could be, bad markets or, make them periods of worry for them. So the way that we stay proactive is by looking for planning opportunities. That first step was staying proactive. And the way to look for planning opportunities is really, here's a few. When accounts are down, if you can bring up ideas of like tax loss harvesting or rebalancing or maybe even Roth conversions, that's a way to take advantage of what's going on. Clients really appreciate being more proactive and taking action on their behalf because that's making progress. Even in times of uncertainty or worry, it's really a positive feeling for them. Clients love this and it's benefiting them and their financial plan. We also highlight parts of the plan that are working, such as, let's say, during a period such as right now, things that are working are inflation protected bonds and some other asset classes that are actually positive year to date. And really, this is just to remind them that they've got different strategies or really asset classes within their plan doing different things. We did this back in March of 2022 when it was really scary in a really quick amount of time where things were down, but we brought people back to some of the types of bonds that they had, and we really just looked for the things that were positive year to date to remind them. We use something to explain it to clients in sort of the bucket strategy. But anyways, the second thing to do is have video communication with clients. And really one video is all you need to do because that gets sent to everybody. And it depends, if you have 10 clients, then maybe you can have one-on-one conversations with everybody, or depending on how many clients you have. For us, we've got 200. So one video where Tim and I record it and send it out to everybody. It really makes a big impact. We just did one last week, and that's been the best way to really bring peace of mind at scale. And sure, if you're new at this, then one video, it can feel awkward in the beginning, but the amount of time that it takes to get this video done, let's say it takes 1 to 2 hours. Well, if you think about it, that 200 clients, you could have 10-minute calls with each of them, and that's over 33 hours of time. So I guess you could kind of figure out if it's worth it or not. When we found when it's above 50 clients doing a video, that makes a lot of sense. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And clients have told us multiple times that they love getting those video messages because they know that we're looking out for them and we're thinking about them. It's really the next best thing to do other than a phone call or a meeting with them. If you're having trouble coming up with ideas on what to say in the video, think about just finding a good article related. Let's say it's a market volatility article. Find one that makes sense, that you really would hope that your clients would read, and maybe you could just summarize it. Give credit to the author, but maybe just make it easier. Pick the highest points, or maybe just highlight some of the important charts or whatever it might be that you want to share. Now on to the third thing, and then I'm going to share how we actually grow during these market volatility times and why it's the best time to grow if you're looking to attract more clients to you. So the third thing is to just make sure that we're there for those clients that might be having a harder time than others, or maybe worrying more. Maybe they just retired this year and this is their first big down period since they retired. Talking to them on the phone and making sure that they know we understand what they're feeling, and then letting them know it's normal. That's key for them. Karl Richards has a great framework for this, and it's something like first absorbing with empathy. So when someone calls up worried, or they're worried about the markets, then it's really just understanding and listening to them and saying something that communicates you do understand what they're feeling. Saying, I know it can be scary. When I watch the news too, the financial news, I can feel the same way. And then step 2 is just bringing it back to their goals and values and saying something like, tell me last time we talked, $10K a month is what you needed coming into the bank each month. Has anything changed? No? Good. So your plan was built knowing that these sorts of events were going to happen, that there would be this volatility. We didn't know when or how it was going to happen, but it was built knowing that this would happen. And everything that I'm looking at now with your plan still shows it working. So something like that. I was just off the cuff there, but I would suggest going to see Karl's videos because he shares really much better job than I just did on explaining those, kind of the framework he has during scary markets. And I bet if you Google maybe Karl Richards scary markets, it should probably come up. I think they're out there for free. Now on to part 2 of this video where we talk about how we actually grow during volatile markets. And by the way, if this has been helpful so far, please click the like button because 1, it would make my day, but 2, I really want to help more great advisors out there, and getting this message to spread or telling YouTube that this is good would be super helpful. So thank you for doing that in advance. So the first thing we have to do really for step 1, back to when we were keeping clients happy, the outcome from that and keeping them happy is really a more confident client and a more confident person in their finances. And that confidence will come through when they're talking to their friends. During volatility or bad markets, conversations between friends are more often about those things, such as the market changes or the economy or things like that, because it's in the news and it's on people's minds. It's things that they're worrying about. It's what they're talking about more frequently. And if our clients are less worried than their friends because they know they got the videos from us or they got the communication from us and they've got a solid financial plan, then their friends are gonna wonder why they're feeling the way that they are. And they're more likely to bring it up in conversation. They're gonna bring you up in conversation. So you could even say something like this. If you are talking with a client, you could say something in the conversation at the end. Once they feel that feeling of renewed confidence because they talked with you, you could say something like, it can be worrisome for a lot of people out there that don't have a plan like you do. And if you're sensing that with friends, if you're talking with someone and they bring up their worries, feel free to mention us. If they want to talk it over, we'd be happy to do that. I can't promise that they'll become a client, but I'd be happy to do a free call with them if you think that would be good. Or, something like that in your own words. Now, the second thing that we do that allows us to grow during bad markets or down markets is content at scale. And it's really just regular posting on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube. And right now, YouTube is the main source of new clients for our firm because that's where really we've seen the most success and it's been able to spread the most. But there's advisors of all different kinds that are finding success on both LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, really any of the socials. The main point is you just want to get your ideas or your face out there. And the secret here is consistency. If you can stay in front of people, and really all it takes in the beginning, if you haven't done this before, is once per week. If you could stay in front of people, that can make a big difference. And there's a bit of a ramp up period here. It took us about 60 to 90 days before we started seeing people reach out, starting from 0. But I would suggest starting now, if this is of interest of you during a period like this, or really any period, because whenever the next down market comes or whenever the next scary thing comes out, you're gonna have been there. They would be seeing your face or they'd be seeing your ideas on any of these social platforms. And then they'd be more prone, when things are not working out, for them to reach out to you. Now, it does take consistency. That's the most important thing. And it also takes some creativity. So I created another video on how to create content quickly so that you can do it consistently without really spending too much time on it each week. Tim and I started out with 3% of our week is what we spent on content. And then once we started seeing traction, once we started seeing some results, that's when we started to invest a little bit more time because we knew it was working. So check that out below, or maybe it's on the screen, and look for that next. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, please like the video, and then I'll see you in the next video. Take care.